46 degrees downtown. My guest this morning, John Doran, a Connecticut home builder from East Lyme who is partnering with a national charity called Homes for Our Troops to build a new home for a wounded American Army veteran. And we've got John here to talk about that this morning. John, good morning. Thank you for coming in today. Interesting concept here, Homes for Our Troops. How does this work?
Homes for Our Troops is a private organization. They're based out of Massachusetts, and they build homes for post 9/11 severely injured soldiers, and they build mortgage-free homes for them. They are building Sean's home. The new home we're building in Bethany is the 226th home throughout the country, and it's an organization, like I said, that builds homes for wounded soldiers. We got involved with them because we reached out to them to become what they designate as a build partner, and we became Connecticut's designated building partner for them. And we're just about finished with the house now. They're just finishing all the final mechanicals and painting and so on.
Now, Bethany is the other side of New Haven, sort of between New Haven and Waterbury, but you do have an event coming up a week from tomorrow at the Willimantic Elks Lodge to kind of support this whole concept. Tell me about that event.
We've done 4 fundraisers so far. There was one at the West Haven Elks Lodge that was put on for Sean early on, and then we did one at the Bristol, Connecticut Elks, one at the London Connecticut Elks, and then Willimantic reached out to us and asked if we would do a fundraiser there. Being a member in New London, it was a no-brainer. So, Saturday night we are, or Friday night I should say, we are doing the fundraiser there on the 9th.
Friday, December the 9th at the Elks Lodge at the Cash Bar at 7 o'clock, dinner at 7 o'clock, and music and dancing till whenever. Is there a speaking program with that? Do you talk to the people that go to this event and tell them more about what we're talking about this morning?
Yeah, I do a little bit of a history of how this all happens and how it works and how we became involved, a little bit about Sean's background, what happened to him in his career as an Army Ranger.
Yeah, he went to Afghanistan. And tell us more about Sean and why he needs a house like this. Well,
Sean is paralyzed from the waist down. He was shot 13 times, pretty much point blank, and it was his last mission before coming home when he was in Afghanistan. So from his wounds, he's paralyzed, and all of these homes are all specially adapted. Everything is ADA compliant. Special bathrooms, grab bars, wide doorways and hallways. It makes anybody who is incapacitated the way Sean is, it makes their life so much easier to function on a daily basis.
So tell me about the house itself. How big is it? And is he involved in the design process? Does he say, I'd like this, can you do that?
The design is it's a 2,600 square foot house. It has 2 baths, 4 bedrooms, a big open wide kitchen, family room, 2-car garage. The house that Homes for Our Troops builds, it's the same house that they build everywhere. The soldier or the veteran does get to choose certain items, color of walls, color of cabinetry, counters, tile, things of that nature. So they do get to personalize the house, color of roofing, color of siding, that type of thing. So it does become their own home, that's for sure.
Where has he been living in the interim until this is built?
Sean lives with his parents in West Haven, Connecticut.
And does he come to you? Is the organization Homes for Our Troops, do they make the connection between the actual veteran and the building process? How does that work?
The process starts with the veteran applying to Homes for Our Troops for a home, and then they evaluate what the incapacitation is of the soldier, and they get approved. From there, Homes for Our Troops has a team of people that seek out land for the house to be built, and then they seek out a builder like myself, either to pay the builder, or in our case, where we donated our services, we reached out to them to become a build partner of theirs.
And what exactly is your role in the actual building process? I realize you're a home builder, but do you have specific responsibilities with that home?
I build the house from the start to finish, from the taking out of the permits to the company that cleans the windows and bathrooms at the end of the job. So basically, I'm the general contractor building the entire house. I hire subs and suppliers.
And you've got other homes you're building at the same time. How does this impact your other business? Does it mean that you are not able to do what you normally would do because you're involved in building this home for Sean?
Well, we had to dedicate our time to do this project, and so it took away a little bit from our regular building. I built about 800 homes and condominiums in Connecticut over the last 45 years, and now our company, what we do is we build pretty much custom homes, 3-4 homes a year, and so it did impact. We did 2 good-sized projects last year, and we're just starting one in Melrose, Massachusetts. So it did take a little bit of our time away from our regular building, but it was something we wanted to get involved in. We're very proud of it. We really appreciated the opportunity with Homes for Our Troops to join up with them.
As I read about this project, Homes for Our Troops, it seemed to be similar, not the exact same thing, like a Habitat for Humanity, where you're building homes for people in need.
Yeah, absolutely. You have Homes for Our Troops, you have Wounded Warriors, you have Homes Habitat for Humanity. I'm not too familiar with how that process works with them. I know the process with Homes for Our Troops. And as I said, ourselves, we donated our time to build the house. And then what builders like myself do is I reach out to the people that do work for me on a steady basis to see what, if anything, they can do. And I was absolutely floored by the response that I got from my people. So many of them just stepped up tremendously to do their portion of the work. My plumbing contractor, my carpenters. It was really heartwarming that these guys all stepped up and joined in the cause.
What happens when this home is done? Is there like a real big ceremony and ribbon cutting?
There is. When the house is finished, Homes for Our Troops has what they call Key Day, and that is the day that they officially turn the house over to Sean. He gets the keys and he's able to move in. That is scheduled for December the 17th. It happens first thing in the morning. It's about 10. It starts at 10 a.m. It's quite a ceremony. The state police will escort Sean to the house. There'll be quite a few people there, we expect, and some of the dignitaries from the state as well.
Do you feel sometimes, John, that veterans like Sean are sometimes swept under the rug in the sense that they're not a casualty like a fatality that we hear reported on so much? They're the ones who got maimed by our efforts in Afghanistan, Iraq, Vietnam, whatever the case is, and they're still trying to go about their life, and people don't hear about them as much as the ones maybe who passed away in these battles.
Exactly. You see these stories, you hear their stories, you see what's happened to them, how their lives have been altered, and you can't help but to want to be involved and certainly have compassion for what's happened to them. It's an unbelievable experience. This started about a year and a half ago for us when we first reached out to Homes for Our Troops, and since that time, the whole situation has just grown. When we're finished with Sean's house, we intend to stay on with Homes for Our Troops in some capacity, either as an advisor with them or in building another house. There is another build that's going to happen in 2017. I don't know if we're going to build it or how we'll be involved, but we will always be involved with Homes for Our Troops. We love the cause, and it's something that we want to do.
So it is a case where in Connecticut, for example, Homes for Our Troops builds one home, finishes that job, and then moves on to the next home, or would you do two or three? Would they do two or three simultaneously?
It depends. If you have a soldier that wants to be in Connecticut and they're approved, there could be two or three houses going on at one time. It's not likely. That happens like in Texas or California, Florida, where they've got multiple houses that are being built. The organization is only about 10 years old, so it's growing. It's like any organization, it has its growing pains. But like I said, there's another house planned next year. The soldier is now looking for property. Once they find the property, then they'll either get a builder like myself that comes on board as a build partner, or they'll pay a builder to build it, and I just don't know what our capacity will be in the next project. You and your building associates obviously donate your time, but when you build a house, there's also materials. Where does the money for that come from? Homes for Our Troops has partnerships with several of the major material suppliers, people like Kohler, cabinetry, lighting fixtures from Progress, all types of things that get donated to the house. Certainty donates the roofing shingles and the insulation. Then there are all the people that have to do the other components of the house where the materials are not donated, they're purchased. And that's where a guy like me comes in. I reach out. For instance, our lumber yard that we deal with is Norwich Lumber. Norwich Lumber supplied all the materials at their cost. There was no markup, no cost for delivery to go from Norwich to Bethany. And then our subs and other suppliers, they reach out to their people. My plumbing contractor, for instance, Jack Cawley, reached out to the Granite Group. He reached out to F.W. Webb. And those organizations donated all of the piping, all of the fittings, all the manifolds, everything that we needed to do the plumbing and heating labor and installation outside of the actual plumbing fixtures themselves. And what about the legal beagle stuff, when it comes to securing the property? When it comes to actually paying for the property, you talked about the 2017 bill, they're securing property now. Well, that property, when they get it, is going to cost some money. Who pays for that? Homes for Our Troops, they pay for everything. And the average build cost of a home for Homes for Our Troops is about $437,000. That includes the land. Of course, some places are higher because land is higher, and some places are less. But in our case, they purchased the lot, and that's when my job begins. First thing we did was we took out the permits to build the house, and thanks to the First Select Woman of Bethany, they graciously waived our building permit fees. So the only thing we had to pay was the state fee, which was very nominal. Another aspect of this is that once Sean Pesce is given the keys to the house in Bethany, it isn't like the process is done. There's a follow-up to this, too. Tell me about that. The Homes for Our Troops, they don't just, as you said, give the key and they walk away. They stay with the soldier, the veteran, forever. They basically, they want to make sure that the veteran's going to be in the house, that he's going to enjoy the house, and that when things come up in his life that could be harmful or devastating to him, Homes for Our Troops is there to assist. Homes for Our Troops is grateful to have the support of such patriotic partners in the building community who share our unwavering commitment in wanting to give back to those heroes who fought and sacrificed for our freedom overseas, says Major General retired Timothy P. McHale,
who is Home for Our Troops President and CEO, the generosity and professionalism of Build partners such as John Doran is crucial to completing our mission and ensuring that all severely injured veterans have a mortgage-free, specially adapted home so they can rebuild their lives. What was your reaction, John, when you first heard about this? Obviously, many of us haven't heard about Homes for Our Troops, so at one point in time, you heard about it for the first time. Did you get involved in this, like, immediately? You said, that's a great program?
My wife and I wanted to do something to give back to our community, to our state, and we were researching different organizations that we could get involved with, do something with, and when I saw the Homes for Our Troops website, and I saw what they were trying to do and the way they're doing it and building these mortgage-free homes, I said, that's the place I want to go. So that's how we reached out to them, and like I said, it took about a year for us to get approved by them to become their build partner, and then once we were approved and Sean's house came up, away we went and we started the construction.
That website is hfotusa.org for Homes for Our Troops. This is like a builder's dream, isn't it, getting involved in a project like this?
It is. It is a dream. It's just you get so much fulfillment out of it. Like I said, I've built about 800 homes and condominiums in Connecticut over the years, and there's no house that I'll ever be more proud of than this one.
Now, this event that's coming up a week from tomorrow, December the 9th, at the Willimantic Elks Lodge, is there a band that'll be playing, or DJ, or who does the music for this event?
Actually, I do the music. That's my pastime. I love music. I grew up in Bridgeport on the corner of Parrott Avenue and Charles Street, and there were many days just singing on that street corner with my friends, and so it's my passion. I try to emulate some of my good friends in the music industry that I know that are 50s and 60s guys.
Such as who?
Kenny Vance.
Kenny Vance was one of Jay and the Americans, by the way. I've seen him in concert doing doo-wop shows 6 times, and he does a phenomenal show. So that's a great guy to emulate right there.
Kenny's a great guy. Larry Chance from Larry Chance and the Earls.
Remember.
There it is. That's Arthur Avenue in the Bronx. Dion, Willie Winfield and the Harp Tones. The list goes on and on of different guys that I know. So
this event that's coming up a week from tomorrow at the Elks Lodge, it's going to be a great program not just for Homes for Our Troops, but also for the people who like the doo-wop stuff and the 50s and 60s music. You'll be doing lots of that, won't you?
I will. If you like doo-wop and oldies music, come out next Friday night. You'll have a great time.
Maybe a little song like Up on the Roof?
When this old world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face, I climb way up to the top of the stairs and all my cares just drip right into space.
That's Johnny Doran, our guest this morning. He's got a CD out. That's where I played that from, with a whole bunch of that 50s and 60s kind of stuff. So that does sound like fun. How can people get tickets for this event on December the 9th at the Willimantic Elks Lodge, which is, of course, all about and helping support Homes for Our Troops?
If you live in Willimantic or you're nearby, you can stop at the lodge and you can purchase a ticket, or you can buy tickets online from our New London Elks Lodge website. You would go to elks360.org/tickets, HFOT. That is ELKS360.org/TICKETS HFOT.
And, John, before you go, should we tell the folks about the phone call we got during the break a little while ago? I thought that was rather funny.
We did. We had a lady that called in, and she said, will I be able to listen to John? And Wayne was talking to her for a few minutes, and then he said, well, you can talk to him right now if you'd like. Who is this? And the lady said, this is his wife.
Well, I also asked you, do you know who this is? Because you heard the voice in the speakerphone. Because she was asking, I figured there was some reason she wanted to hear the show. And you said, no, I don't know this person. And then she said, it's your wife. And I said, do you guys talk much?
Yeah, we do, actually. We do.
Well, she can hear the podcast on our website later on when it's done. Well, John, this is a great story, and I salute what you're doing for the troops and for Sean Pesce. The home almost finished now in Bethany, Connecticut. Sean, 24 years old, and was paralyzed in a firefight in Afghanistan 4 years ago, and this home will be free of charge to him, mortgage-free and fully accessible on December the 19th, Key Day, where the keys to the house are literally turned over to him. John will be the musical entertainment for an event to support Homes for Our Troops at the Willamette Elks Lodge on Friday, December the 9th, starting at 7 o'clock. We played a little song by John earlier this morning.